Hey, welcome. Approved. I do have a guest here. We just can't see him. He's a ghost. No,
People often said that.
We're getting him a microphone. I'm Bruce Deuley. I'm with my friend David McKelvey. It's going to be mostly a bird day. We are going to tell you about a really good event, which isn't that far a drive. Our friend John Carter is on. We'll show you that a couple of times during the show. We're going to encourage you to call in. Somebody give me the number here. I don't know it.
792-5842.
792-5842. 792. Anything about birds, of course, the martins should be back. If they're not back now, you may have a martin problem because they should be around. David and I just coming up here, we saw starlings posting. There are a nest somewhere. We saw grackles showing off and posting in the tops of the trees at the bank. And so it's actually the middle of bird season. As far as the young are going, I don't know why, and I think we can get David running here now. I don't know why, but I have I hate to use this word, I just love it, a plethora of red birds and mockingbirds in my house like I've never had.
There's a real...
Something's going on. I've got
plethora of them.
Plethora. I have 5 or 6 sets. I usually have 1 or 2 sets of cardinals and maybe 1 or 2 at most sets of mockingbirds, but I've got them posting everywhere. Now, whether I'm unusual where I am, I just happen to have or what, I don't know, but I've never seen that many. Have you noticed an inordinate number of other places?
Not only that,
this is David McKelvey.
I have a gay pair of cardinals.
Oh, that's nice.
And the males are taking turns beating one another up and flying around and singing, and both feed each other and go with each other everywhere all the time. And it seems to be a very workable situation.
A happy monogamy.
Yeah.
Well, I've just been noticing that it is more than normal. The other one that I've noticed this year that's not irregular for me, but unusual, is I have a full-time great blue heron down at the river right by my house. Ordinarily, I'll see one a few times a year. You know, see him one day, he's gone a month.
He's probably your new bird.
My new bird is there, and he seems to have just taken up with the river right where my place is. Now, whether that means they're nesting somewhere, where do they nest? Are they nest up in trees?
Big eagle-looking nests, you know, of usually just a little bit below the top of the ground.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they're not high in the tree.
No, but they're not low either.
Oh,
they're
okay.
under. They want shade on their roof.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so they're not in the tops of the tree like an eagle would be.
No, not
down
necessarily.
in the canopy. Well, I've got those great big cypress trees there, so it may be that. For those of you, we will do a little bit about gardening. We'll talk a little bit about health. I'm going to apologize. You may like it this way. My brain died.
That's all right. Mine was there too.
His
Not
is
bad.
coming back. I'm not sure if mine is. Ordinarily, I put all this stuff on a computer, and Kim mentioned to me this morning I hadn't sent it to her. I said, yeah, I did. Last thing I did last night was hit the button. No, it don't come on at all. It doesn't. It's not even the blue screen of death. No, it doesn't have any screen. So I may have lost all my brain, and that'll be a lifetime to get repaired. But I may have to get a new computer because I can't live without my portable notes. We can talk about gardening, and birds and things, though, without that. We've been doing this long enough. If you don't have your garden started now, folks, I will concede that we're going to have an early spring. Duh. My tomatoes are already 15 to 18 inches tall. They're already putting the first blooms out. My Swiss chard, I'm going to get my first picking on in the next few days.
Oh, that's really.
I have so many sugar beets I overplanted. I'm going to have to thin them out. Now, folks, when you put beets on anything out, the tops are as good as Swiss chard. So when I thin them out, I just pull them and pop the bottom off, and they become part of my salad. And I'll leave my beets so that they're about 6 inches apart, and that'll give me a lot of sugar beets. And Swiss chard's up and running. I got beans up. I got a thing called a potato bean. And if anybody knows about this,
potato bean.
Well, let me tell you. I thought they meant that it was a potato that tasted. a bean that tasted like a potato. This lady that came to help me, I used the word butcher, maybe I should use the word, what's a better word than butcher? Process. Harvest my Muscovy ducks last year. When she came, she brought me a little bunch of seeds, some beans and some this and that, and one of them said potato bean on it. Well, just to find out when I should plant it and to learn about it, I didn't know what it was. I went on the internet, I looked it up. It is a potato bean. It's not a bean that tastes like a potato. It's a bean that grows beans on top, and after the beans are finished, the root is as big as a regular potato. and you eat the root, and it tastes
That's not
just
what
like a
I've
potato.
got there in the dining room, are they? And where I'm living?
No. I only got 5 of these
Those green
beans.
things that you.
No, that's another thing. That's the fava. I only got 5 beans from her, and 4 of them came up. But I've never heard of a potato bean before, and I don't know how I missed it. I talked to Bob Webster. Bob's never seen one either. But according to the computer now, she didn't tell me that. She just said, here's some potato beans. But you eat the root.
We used to do that with some kind of a root that would be that long.
Oh, well, you can do that. Well, you know what's good to eat, and people don't realize it. They really fuss over it in the East is a kudzu.
Yeah.
They eat kudzu?
Oh, yeah. Kudzu was originally brought here as a forage for animals. The roots are dug up and eaten as a starch. They make rope out of it. They make clothing out. It's another peanut. If we would use the kudzu instead of letting it go wild, it's an extremely useful plant for a million different.
It's native in Africa as well.
It's got medicinal qualities. Good morning. Welcome to Nature Approved.
Hey, you talking about that potato and bean
Yes, sir.
combination plant? They have a book on different plants and stuff. You know, like they have psychedelic peppers and stuff like that. It's a book, and it's called Feed the World. And it's a book on different combinations of your fruit.
Yeah.
Some grows on the ground, and some of them grows on top.
Oh, I've seen them. I don't know if people know this, but you can also grow a tomato that has tomatoes on top and potatoes on the bottom.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just going to say
What they do is
that.
graft a potato root on a tomato. Since they're both a nightshade, they're compatible. So you get tomatoes and you get potatoes. Now, how efficient they are, I do not know. But there's a bunch of those plants you can throw together like that.
It is so neat, you know. I did it last year on that, and I mean, it was fascinating. I had a big old potato. I mean, humongous, and it was a meal by itself.
Yeah. Well, I did have my kids,
talk to you about that.
when I was teaching in Fredericksburg, I had my kids graft tomatoes, which is very simple to do. And they had a tomato on one side was a red tomato, on the other side was a yellow tomato. Then on another limb there was cherry tomatoes, all on one plant.
Cool.
And they thought it was the coolest thing in the world.
My kids don't do that kind of thing more
It's just
often.
kind of fun, but thanks for the info. Feed the world. Appreciate that. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Bye-bye. Yeah, I don't know how prolific things are when you start mixing them up. You know, a number of our best plants, for instance, our oranges that we grow, are all on a sour root stock. If you get little growths from the bottom of your orange tree, cut those off because they're the original, rather useless, except the root is good. The fruit's basically inedible. And that's a grafting. They grafted at root base. And there's a number of plants that we have on a regular basis that we don't even realize they're grafted. A number of them are roses. A lot of your roses, folks, are ungrafted.
Beautiful old roses.
I prefer heritage roses. They're easier to grow and easier to keep. But a lot of your roses you'll see a little knot down there, and that knot is where they put one plant on top of the other. When we get back, we're going to break away for a minute. Oh, shall we take the call first?
Sure.
I don't have a call.
Go ahead and take a break.
When we come back, we're going to teach you how to air layer plants. And then we'll talk about birds. We'll be back to Nature Approved.
Do you ever air laid
after this.
birds?
The Family Sports Center is dedicated to changing people's lives. Family Sports Center is a quality wellness workout facility serving all ages and fitness levels, providing fun, energetic program with an attentive and knowledgeable staff. Family Sports Center has been serving the community for over 50 years with a wide variety of group exercises, both aquatic and aerobic, racquetball, weights, cardiovascular equipment, and educational seminars. Family Sports Center can put you on the road to a healthier you.
Crickets, serving downtown Kerrville with 25 years of excellence. A unique specialty shop with peerless name brand merchandise like Vera Bradley, Caspari, Willow-Tree, voted best gift shop in Kerrville. Crickets, an enlightening shopping experience.
Hill Country Living, a store full of gorgeous home accents. All your favorite name brands like Wedgwood, Lennox, Spode, a Via Tree best store for 3 years. Beautiful Pardine jewelry, bridal registry. See us on Facebook.
The Upper Guadalupe River Authority is your local organization in Kerr County devoted to protecting the Hill Country surface water. UGRA tracks changes in health in our river and creeks and responds to concerns about water quality.
The Upper Guadalupe River Authority also operates an environmental laboratory for all your water testing needs. UGRA is Kerr County Surface Water Resource.
For more information about other UGRA programs, visit us on the web at www.ugra.org. Let's keep our river clean.
Howdy, my name's Kevin Solbrig with Solbrig Hearing Center. Here at Solbrig Hearing Center, we have hearing instruments for almost any hearing loss and any lifestyle. We have hearing instruments for the young and...
Watch it, Buster!
Let's try this again. We have hearing instruments for the young and for the even younger at heart. So if you're having difficulty hearing and understanding speech or don't always understand words clearly, give me a call. 895-5900 is the number.
And we're back. Welcome to Nature Approved. Somebody had asked me last week or week before, I keep forgetting, a thing about air layering. What is air layering? It's probably the easiest way you can propagate a number of different plants. The one I'm doing right now, I happen to want another fig tree. Mm-hmm. And I did it, I cheated this time, but I'll tell you how you're supposed to do it.
I can give you if you want some.
Yeah, I need some fig trees. But anyway, what you do is just take and go down a limb, 6 to 10 inches, whatever you want to do. Get a handful of peat moss or of good potting soil or whatever, and take and nick that plant, or preferably where there's a bud starting is the best way. And then just take a handful of this soil, wet it very good, wrap it with tin foil around the limb. Just completely get it in the tin foil so the moisture doesn't go away. Almost always, it's much more dependable than other ways of making plants grow. In about a month, you can look in there and you're going to see roots growing in that moss or in that soil. Cut behind it, stick it in the ground, you got another plant. Now, I'm cheating. Yeah, I'm cheating in a different way. This happened to have some low-lying limbs on it. And what I did is just dig a little hole. Yeah, scratch it, laid it on the ground, put a rock on it.
That was nice.
Yeah, when it gets ready, you cut behind it and you got yourself a plant. So it's the easiest way to know. Much easier than trying to sprig and take things. Now, with figs, and I didn't do it last fall, my dad used to do this, and evidently this is common knowledge, but I didn't know when I was young. When the fig season was over and the leaves fell off, he would cut sticks about 6 or 8 inches long, just right down the limb. Bundle them up, 10, 15, 20 at a time, wrap them with a cord. We used to use hemp rope then, and bury them. And next spring, when you dug them up, they all were ready to grow. There were roots on one end and buds coming up on the other. So what other plants will do that, but figs will do that very well. Georgia has a lot more rain than we do, and the fig is the kind of go-to fruit when you don't want to have to do anything. The birds love them. They're good for you, and they grow without any. Here they may require a little water.
Yeah,
in the dry seasons we've been having.
A little high for them.
Hold this up for them, Dave, to that camera. They're going to put that on the screen for us because this is a friend of both Dave. There you go. Wings Over Burning, Birds of Prey. John Carger. I think he's been on Sun Up a couple of times. Yeah, Sun Up Saturday a couple of times. He's a neighbor of ours. He actually is a comforter or a comfortite.
He's very comforting.
A comfortite.
Especially if it's cold.
Yeah, and has actually had some health problems, but he's lately back on mark.
He's his old
Has some real back problems, yeah. And they're doing this, let me read it because I want to make sure I do this right. This is the last show, though. This is this weekend at 11 today, 1 o'clock today, and 3 p.m. today. You can go and it's make it easy for you if you've ever been to Bernie. It is it's in the parking lot of Walmart. That's really not what it is, but that's where it is. There's an old building there that's one of the community centers.
It's a great old building.
Yeah, is that what it's called? Visit, yeah. And it really, if you've not seen one of his shows and you want to appreciate Birds of Prey, this is one show you should go see. Now, John's a bit of a preacher about it. Okay, good preacher. But he's good at it.
He's good at it,
but what I mean is he really is becoming more adamant than I am about That's good. Yeah, more adamant than I am about the natural side of it. He really does protect his birds, and he really is getting more and more green, I guess is the word we want to use. More green conscience than he's ever been.
He's a good bird man, good bird handler. Not much he doesn't do well.
Well, they had these ratings, and he's now, whatever this is, he's a master falconer. Yeah, and you can't say falcon, I found out. When you're with John, you have to say falconer.
Falconer.
He's a falconer.
Oh.
And
I mean, one of those things that ate the
my
cat.
favorite bird that he has is a Harris hawk. And if you haven't seen a Harris fly,
oh, they're beautiful.
They're gorgeous.
They're so quick on their feet.
And don't they community hunt? Aren't they one of the hawks?
They are the only bird that community hunts, and they will have your group might consist of a male and female, and 3 or 4 babies that are all full grown.
Right, young adults.
They especially hunt rabbits. They can really catch rabbits, and then everybody goes over and shares it. So, Henry, do you want a bite?
Yeah. They kind of hang on these guys, so the rabbit's confused. So they get one chasing it, but the other guy's waiting, so as it comes by, he's already set up. And that's pretty much unheard of in the bird of prey world.
That's exactly right. It's not, only with a tiny little falcon off the coast of Terrafueno.
Terrafuego.
I can say one of those. No. Fuego!
Yeah. Fuego.
Fuego, fuego.
Oh, Terrafuego. We're going to show some bird pictures. Well, why don't we show some bird pictures? While we talk, we'll let David talk about them and maybe do their sounds.
Well, these
What's that, Dave?
These are. Oh, that is a purple martin.
What does he sound like, Dave?
He goes.
No,
the wrong bird. Okay,
that's a blackbird, but
yeah,
the wrong.
That's a very black purple martin.
Yeah.
He
can do it, but he can't do it while he's laughing. Purple martin.
Wait.
Now he can't do it. He's whistler's mode.
Just a minute.
There you go. And that was it. One way to draw them in, and I don't know if there's a more successful way or not, but I did use
sticks again.
Well, I used a tape. You can go to a good bird shop, and Birds Unlimited will have them, I'm sure, Wild Birds Unlimited, and they have pre-recorded tapes of the martins being martins. And that seems to draw them in what little else does.
It works real well. You can get them to come practically in your backyard to do that.
I did this once. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to do it, folks, because I'm not as pure birder as I should be. I have a tape that came from the Audubon people. And one of the birds in it was a little owl.
A sharpshin.
No, an owl. The little bitty screech owl. I put that crazy tape recorder under my picnic
I was there the day you did that.
Yes. I knew there must have been a screech owl around my house, but I didn't know there were a half dozen in 3 minutes. They were looking, and they were looking under that table. They were going to find that bird and kick his.
I mean, they were right there.
They came like
this
right
far
away.
away, screaming at them.
Where is that bird? They didn't want him in their territory. And then the cool thing is, and Dave will appreciate this because I don't know how rare they are. One of them was red.
They are, yes. Those are much
more rare.
Ruled after.
4 or 5 were regular colored screech owls, and then this beautiful copper red.
Like a fire-haired woman.
Yeah, like a red-headed woman.
Shiny iridescence.
And he was over there, and he was kicking it too. He was going to find that bird and get rid of it. And I thought that was. Then I learned later you should never do that during breeding season. There, that is the screech owl, folks. So why we call it a screech owl? I got it there. Now, what is the other noise? Don't they have one?
Yeah.
They have a call.
They go. Meow, meow, meow. Or they go.
That's the one I recognize.
Yeah.
And they're little tiny guys. They're not the smallest owl, but they're a small owl.
They're real cute and real little.
But there's a smaller one called the elf, I think, that lives south of us.
Yes.
Yeah, that's even littler. And then there's a little burrowing owl.
They will kill and carry away the largest prey that they can, which is a cockroach. That's what they're really good at.
And there's one that lives they live in the ground.
No, those are burrowing
owls.
No,
and they're South Texas, though, right?
Yeah, they
also.
go.
And they're a tiny little guy. Oh, pardon me a minute. Let's take a call. Good morning. Welcome to Nature Approved.
Yeah, how are you doing today?
Fine, sir. How about yourself?
Just fine. Listen, I've got a peacock.
Yes, sir.
A male and a female showed up on my property about 8 years ago.
8 years? Yeah, they've established by now.
And the female got killed by a coyote.
Oh.
That happens, yeah.
So I've got a male that needs a mate.
Okay.
And he's white, completely white.
Mm-hmm.
And every time we go outside, we call him to feed him, and he comes to us. And every time my wife goes outside, he lets out all his feathers and shakes them. And
He flirts with her.
Mm-hmm.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
Those white ones are really pretty when they're in full feather.
yeah,
Do you have a phone number they can call you, or what do you want? How you want to do this?
yeah. It's 830
830
589
589
2306.
589-2306.
You wanted a peacock?
A peacock, he needs a hen.
Yes.
Okay, and you're welcome. Just contact him. If we lose track, call here. But, yeah. Does yours do that?
Hey, that guy's good, whoever is it.
Is that you or the bird?
Are you dating or what? I want that big white guy.
I don't think we're going to touch that one. Sir, if we get a call, we'll let you know.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, a little too much for this show. We want to run one more week. Why don't we show another bird picture? There.
Oh, goldfinches.
And this is a local bird?
Yeah, they don't breed here that I know of, but they're very common winter birds.
Come here through the winter.
Especially if there's black seeds.
The females are not quite as brilliant as the guys, right?
No, you can see she has a little brown forehead and kind
of. How do they sound, Dave? Do you know a goldfinch sound?
Yeah.
Try that.
There you go.
Great winter feeder. They like thistles. If you have a thistle, I can't say it. No, if you have a thistle feeder.
You get a little thistle on your seed once in a while, yeah.
And they'll come to thistle feeders. And they also hang around on my where I put flat seed out for the doves and things.
Yeah.
So I like, everybody else runs the dove off. I think they're nice.
We got 5 kinds.
Yeah, we've got the little bitty ones. We've got Inca doves and a ground dove.
And
white wing.
And white wing.
And now a new introduction to the world of Texas.
Streptopelia decaocta.
Yes, which is the ringneck dove. It's very common. Matter of fact, it's the most common dove in downtown Comfort, Texas now.
And you can shoot them anytime year round.
If you want to, because they're
beautiful to look at and delicious to taste, and they're just really a nice bird all the way around.
They make a good pet.
Yeah, oh yeah, I always
nice
like
little birds.
Now they go.
Now do a white wing so they can see the difference.
That is one.
No, a white. Do the decaocta.
I screwed up.
You want a decaocta? Yeah. So you screwed up your doves?
No, yeah, now the doves.
Now about mourning.
Yes?
Well, mourn.
Mourning dove. Okay.
You can mourn too, but we want to hear the dove first.
All right, try not.
That's the laughing
try not to
kookaburra.
be funny.
Yeah.
Crazy people shouldn't do that.
You're doing a heck of a job, yeah.
Okay.
All right, do the mourning dove.
Mourning dove?
While you're still on target. There you go.
And then their wings go.
And the other thing you should know, folks, and I learned this late in life from being a bird nerd, I always thought it's because you saw them first a day. No, it's mourning.
You know, I did that
mourning, as if they're unhappy because of the sound. So when my dad said, "Oh, that's a mourning dove," I thought, "Well, that's mourning, and they're out. I guess that's okay." And so
those are the kind of things plant people
they could have
do.
named it something more original. Maybe it's an evening dove if I saw it in the afternoon. But anyway, it's morning. Now they threw another bird up here, and this is we were just talking about these birds earlier. Can we bring the birds back up? There, look at this, Dave.
Oh, that guy? Oh, no, that's it is. Look, it's eating babies.
That's not eating babies, it's feeding them.
Oh, it's mealworms with a flat head. Yeah, I see it. Well, it is mealworms.
And what is this?
Look. Now, those birds are birds that everything they say, they're like married birds. You know, everything they say, they have to say twice.
I thought it was 3 times. Is it twice?
3 times. 3 times will work, too.
Three
Yeah,
times,
especially if you extra seed.
Mine and home do.
They go...
They're doing different bird mimics,
Yeah.
but they do them 3 times a piece. And that's why you can tell
And you know
if
what
it's
is
not
funny
a real
is to
more,
watch one hear a blue heron.
No, I've never had that.
Oh, blue herons, you know, they fly down the creek and they go... And these guys
Mockingbirds.
These guys go.
Oh.
And what's really fun is when you've hand-raised tame. That bird flies over your shoulder and says, "Hello, hello, hello. How are you? How are you? How are you? Mealworm, 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 worm, worm, worm. Pretty, 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 pretty bird, bird, bird." This is the truth. This is absolute truth.
And that's
why people don't keep a lot of pet mockingbirds. But it's
That's why
also
David
illegal.
lives
It's
alone
also
in a
illegal
small
to do.
apartment.
Yeah.
They don't let him out except on the weekend. No, I did have a friend with one. Oh, beautiful shot. I did have a friend with one in Mexico, and they put one on
behind the
each
building,
side.
behind the 2 rooms.
They had one on each side of this 3-foot pillar, but 2 different male mockingbirds, and it was a sound war. They made more fun and more sound, and they were trying to outdo each other like 12 hours a day. It almost got monotony after a while. But wonderful birds, and see, it's legal there. Technically, you're not supposed to have. Folks, so you know, it's illegal to have a lot of these birds as pets.
Starlings I can have.
Starlings you can
grackles
have.
I can't.
Technically.
Yeah, technically.
Starlings are a feral bird, so you're allowed to have them. Anything that is not native here, octo, you can have. Ironically, they've just made the Muscovy duck illegal.
That's our government.
They've decided the Muscovy duck is a game bird or something. I don't know what the rules are. Do you know why they did
I
it?
absolutely know it, and it makes me immediately want to regurgitate myself.
Oh, thanks, Dave.
Some other people have been out last night, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm raising Muscovies. I understand I'm grandfathered because I already had them.
Is that what they are?
Right? Yeah, and then that's what they call it. But technically, you're not supposed to deal in them, trade in them, buy them, sell them, shoot them.
Or don't let them have sex with mallards either.
And they can't have sex with mallards, which is called a
hybrid.
Yeah, but isn't it a moulard? What's the moulard mix?
You're too smart, Deuley. I got to get sick again.
And the moulard is supposedly, in France, they cross them because it's supposedly the best of both worlds. The problem with Muscovy, first, the problem with most ducks is they're greasy. Really greasy. I mean, like pounds of greasy. And so whenever you cook geese or duck, people complain. The Muscovy is the other way around. The Muscovy is fat-free. The Muscovy has a little bit of fat sometimes between.
Nice flavor.
Yeah, and the meat is as red as beef, but you almost have to barred it or put bacon strips or something on it because it's too dry. Well, when they do a moulard, they get enough of the mix of the greasy duck and enough of that you get this great mix, and the French really, really love them. You had some moulard that you have to hand breed them, don't you?
Yeah, mine did.
Yeah.
I actually bred in Bruce, not Bruce.
Corky?
Corky, yeah.
We're going to go get
Chicken
some,
House.
Anyway, moulard's very interesting. And then there's one I don't know that Dave knows about, but I'm going to bring it up. They also have a particular chicken that they raise in France. And nobody else can have them. I don't know what the name of the chicken is. Maybe we'll come up with it when we get back. We're going to have to break away.
Chickens with money.
Yeah, French chickens. Oh, okay. Hey, folks, why don't you call in with your bird questions?
Sorry.
792-5842.
Just taking up space.
David will answer. He can make the sounds. 792-5842.
We're going to talk about hummingbirds next.
Hummingbirds are next when we come back after this exciting commercial and crass message.
For advanced fiber optics, data, phone, and internet in the Hill Country, call the first name for Hill Country Technology. Hill Country. It's our first name.
Pretty hard to separate Hill Country banking from Hill Country history. As you might expect, Bank of the Hills is elbow deep in both. Bank of the Hills families have been serving the families of Kerrville, Comfort, and Ingram since before there was an elected sheriff in Kerr County, and will be here for you when you need friendly, fast access to your checking or savings account. We remember where we've come from, and we'll remember you. Bank of the Hills, treating people right in Kerrville, Centerpoint, Comfort, and Ingram. Banking like it used to be.
Searching for mouth-watering home cooking? Search no further. Head over to Papa's Barbecue. You'll savor the flavor at Papa's Barbecue in Kerrville. Enjoy all the traditional barbecue dishes, juicy ribs, tantalizing brisket, smoked chicken, as well as Papa's Barbecue tender and flavorful steaks. All smoked and seasoned to perfection. Dine in or carry out at Papa's Barbecue. Papa's Barbecue at the corner of Sidney Baker and Myrta in Kerrville.
River's Edge Gallery, printing and framing with 50 artists represented. Original works and prints, custom framing expertly done with thousands of samples to choose from. Fine art printing on canvas and other papers. Top quality and reasonable, downtown Kerrville.
A child's mind is full of wonder. When you shop at Izzy Bear in downtown Kerrville, you'll enter a world of enchantment, a wonderland of gifts, clothing, and more. Izzy Bear, for your child and the child in you.
The old lady.
They'll help you medicate yourself. Hey, we're back.
That was a big
Welcome
problem.
back to Nature Approved. Do we have a picture of a hummingbird?
Yeah, hummingbird.
Let's do a hummingbird because David, I don't. Yeah.
That's the
Tell us a little bit about that hummingbird, Dave. That is a.
It's a hummingbird and it's a male, and it's a. There's two species here. There's the one with the orange trim.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's this one.
Black-throated.
And right now they're not hitting 4.6, but yeah, that's what
They're
they
just
are.
coming in. I saw my first hummingbirds this week.
They are.
That one's on a sage of some kind.
I got
They
three.
love
I
those
got three
sages.
eggs.
That's coccinia, I think.
I got 3 males and a female.
Mm-hmm.
And
I tell you, you put a new feeder up.
Oh, I did. I'm moving a whole collection right around that funny folks' house.
Used to be just to give them a free plug. I don't know if he's still doing it, but Popo used to have like 30 feeders out. This is in Waring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you
There are
could be
hundreds
there,
of
and
them
there'd be 200 hummingbirds at any moment. It was unbelievable how many hummingbirds they were drawing to that place. Now, I haven't been there in years because they sold out.
It's still there. And do you know where there's another one exactly like it, only bigger?
Mm-mm.
At the very top of the mountain in Costa Rica.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Where they have a place where you pull off the side of the road and you can buy.
Well, isn't that where they have that great big long, what's that thing called that you ride down? They got the longest zip line.
That's right next door to
in
it.
Central America.
Yeah.
I mean, you go across the entire mountain range.
Yeah.
On this
halfway
zip.
across, there's
You can't even
a
see the other
jaguar.
end. Yeah, and you get to see everything on this zip. It's really famous. What do you feed them, Dave? I know what I feed.
I use the simple and very happy little device for them. I use 3 to 1. 3 to 1. That's what it is.
Sugar to water.
It's simply 3 to 1. Sugar to water, and make so that it doesn't fill and get sweet in there. You should warm it and
so
shake
it gets all.
Yeah, it doesn't lay in a hump.
Right. And don't leave it for very long, folks. That stuff will go bad if you leave it in there for too many days. You do need, it's one of those things you do need to clean is your feeder.
But
now,
at least every 2 days.
You don't need any red dye. First of all, it makes them poop red everywhere. So if you've got a patio or anything, red spots.
You're glad
everywhere.
they're not ducks.
And they don't care if it's red. We care if it's red. They do come to the little plastic yellow and red feeders, so they do have some color recognition. But they don't know that the juice is red. They don't care. It's just sweet. They actually do make a nectar, if you want to spend the money, at places like Wild Birds Unlimited that have some trace minerals and things in it. Okay? But you don't have to have it. If you've got a normal bunch of flowers around and everything, this is just sort of like a treat for them.
That's exactly what it is.
It's just a quick fix.
On the way home for the kids, it's a good place to find a bug.
There you go. And incidentally, that's something we should mention. They do eat a fair number of bugs.
Oh, that's about all they feed.
Yeah, especially need bugs when they're feeding their babies, because they need that protein source. We should mention that also. Even other birds like cardinals, during most of the year, a cardinal is a seed eater.
And if you can find an oriole.
Most of the year, cardinals are seed eaters. But when they're feeding their babies, they catch bugs. They need that 50, 60, 70% protein that they just can't get out of. None of us can, back to picking on you vegetarians. You just have a rough time getting enough protein to raise your babies when you're a seed-eating bird.
That's what caused the problem.
That's why you have your hair. But he's short on protein. But sorry, sir. There's another guy in the audience that's glaring at me. But anyway, a lot of these birds that are ordinarily seed eaters are either omnivores or turn to insects during the spring of the year. And if you've never had this happen, don't. David and I have had this happen. I know I have. Folks, if you get a male cardinal and you want to catch it, or a cardinal, be careful when you grab it. It has got a bite that rivals a parrot.
Yeah. They can bite a little harder than a cockatiel.
It is unbelievable.
Oh, look, there's one
doing it.
There's one
right there. That's a female, isn't it?
Yes, sir, it is.
Yep,
in breeding season.
Shot. Which brings another bird up that we see here very rarely, folks, but I saw them this winter, and I don't know whether it's because the winter was harsh or what. And it was a pyroluxia. We're not having
I haven't seen one for a couple of years.
If you go south of San Antonio, Choke Canyon area, anywhere south of there, they look like a female cardinal, but they have a beak that looks more like a parrot beak or a parakeet beak.
And their plumage is not red; it's
burnt.
Burnt, kind of
burnt
a purple
orange.
look.
It's a beautiful bird. Beautiful bird and very unique.
Here's what they sound like. People think they're cardinals, but they're not. They go.
Nice bird.
It's a soft little sound.
Pyroluxia. P-Y-R. If you want to look it up.
L-O-X-I-A.
Yeah. And another interesting bird that we call them very occasionals here.
Very occasionals, the Muscovies.
Yeah.
They are.
And another bird that I've not seen right here in the hill country, but that I did run across this year, because I was going down to my friend Sandy Oaks Olive Orchard.
Great place.
She's down in Elmendorf, folks, so we'll give her a free plug if you want to. We had 10,000 pounds of olives we did last year. We have a lot of great oil, the best oil we've ever made, or she's ever made. It's in Elmendorf, just 20 minutes south of San Antonio. But what I saw down there that was unique, or at least unusual for that part of the country.
There's more smart people in an area that I've ever been around.
Oh, down in her group.
You get her bunch of people in.
She has a little bitty stock pond that was about to go dry. And I went down to see if she had put some fish in it to see if they were surviving. And there were Ani birds.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Ani bird, folks, looks like someone took a grackle and put the wrong beak on it.
Yeah.
It's got this flat, heavy beak that looks like it shouldn't fit the bird. But yet, when he flies
away...
away...
they always fly like they just broke a wing.
Oh.
They don't fly like... They go...
They sort of beat their way through the air.
And then land about a feet away from they start flapping.
And it makes you wonder how they get us, because they're basically a South Texas bird and on.
Common in Costa Rica?
Yeah, Costa Rica, there's two. There's a smooth bill and a rough billed.
Yeah.
Keel billed, I think they call it, is here.
Keel billed, that's
Is that what it is? And then the smooth bill is in Florida and in other parts of Central and South America. And then some places have both of them. We saw them very commonly in the reeds along Costa Rica.
They sound like guinea pigs.
Yeah, listen, this is a very strange sound. For those of you who know, guinea pigs whistle. There you go.
And then they go.
And I should mention, incidentally, that they're a community nester.
Yep, just exactly. And you know,
all the women get in the nest, and they all lay eggs, and everybody hatches everybody's eggs and takes care of everybody. And like somewhat like guineas.
Very much like
guineas are communal nesters. People don't realize that usually. I have seen a guinea nest with 40 eggs in it. That one girl didn't do that. All the hens get together and lay these eggs, and then somebody hatches them out. And so there are a few community nesting birds around.
There you go.
Now, which sex?
That's female.
And the male does?
The males go tick, 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 tick.
And when they're together, it is just annoying.
Yeah. A lot of people eat them at about the time they're 6 months old.
They're great meat.
White if they're cooked, and
yeah. Well, they're kind of ugly when you pluck them.
Mm-hmm.
Their skin's about the color of this jacket with a little bit more green in it.
Yeah.
No wonder they don't sell it at the commercial market very well. It's like trying to sell an army green chicken. It just doesn't look very palatable.
Cochins.
But when you cook them, they're chocolate meat. The meat is gorgeous. And they're much more, the Orientals eat a lot more than we do.
Oh, they do, and so do the French.
I like them, but I do get, they do annoy you at certain times in your life. I'm so used to my roosters, I don't even hear them.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I should mention this. I also have a cockatoo, which is the world's noisiest bird.
That is definitely.
You don't want a cockatoo if you don't like noise. Which reminds me, I need a cockatoo. We should tell them on the air. I need a male cockatoo. I don't need to own it. I just need to borrow it. My little girl, my Luckin is on 3 eggs. She lays clear eggs every year because she doesn't have a boyfriend. So I need a male Moluccan or a male any kind of white cockatoo. And then I need a female macaw.
Macaw.
Don't care what kind. I have had my macaw here. He's usually with me all the time. I didn't bring him today because he and I are going to go get some birds.
He's driving down the road and the bird is flying right next to his car with the wings out the car, and when the guy slows down, he rolls it down, gives the bird a bite of seed, and throws it back and up and again. And
he lands on me and comes in the truck. He'll follow me everywhere I go in the car truck.
And he keeps flying real slow. He'll fly behind it, and then it goes, and then backing up again, and people are going, beep, beep, beep. And
He
they
can
think
make
there's the matter
50
with it.
miles an hour, I'm sure. And when he flies, and he'll go through the trees, it is better than any jet you've ever seen.
Oh.
Trees there.
Obviously evolved in it.
Turns completely. And I mean at 50 miles an hour. Oh, look at this. That's an interesting shot.
Oh, it's a
butcher bird.
Yeah, it's a butcher bird. It's Mike the Shrike.
Yep.
Remember when we raised Mike the Shrike?
We both had shrikes. A tree was felled in a lot they were killing, and I found the 2 babies.
That was good.
And we both hand raised them. And they don't imprint. Most birds, if you hand raise them, they stay with you because they think that you're the bird. These guys have evolved not to imprint on anything. So you raise him, he got where he'd come down and he'd eat out of my hand. He'd flutter and take mealworms and things.
And the minute he'd grab it, he'd be gone.
And they do incidentally eat, that was a horned toad he was eating, which is bad news.
Well,
there's a pyraloxia, folks.
There's a pyraloxia.
Yep.
That's what happened when a cardinal and a cockatiel
had a bad evening. I think it looks like a cardinal that chased a parked car. They kind of messed up his beak.
Look at the dollar beak on that sucker.
But these are very nice birds, folks, very interesting. I think they are probably related to cardinal. I don't know what genus.
Very closely.
Yeah.
And the hybrids are fertile.
Mm-hmm. They are. Mm-hmm. And they usually are occasionals here. Again, I've seen them up here 2 different years in my life, but the south of San Antonio, they're pretty common.
That's
and
right.
Down in the brush country.
You're looking for brush countries, exactly. They're happy to be flying around about knee-high.
Hey, let us do one more break before. We've got about 10 or 12 minutes left. We'll be back with more of the, if you want to call us, 792-5248. That's what I said. No, 792-5842. You can call and ask the Birdman questions, or me, or we can talk about
Or just see if he walks.
Yeah, see if we can do it. We'll be back after this with more Nature Approved.
Ann Johnson Bookkeeping has been serving businesses and individuals in the Hill Country since 1986, handling tax preparation and financial statements and complete business service, accounts payables and checkbook management, as well as business consulting, payroll services, and reports including sales tax reports, saving you time and money.
You do what you do best, and I'll do what I do best. And together, we'll make your business a successful venture.
Give Ann Johnson a call today at 896-4033, and Ann says thank you for your support throughout the years.
The Big Texas Inn has the best deal in the Hill Country. For only $39 a day, you get a fully furnished studio suite with weekly housekeeping, plus a great hot breakfast, plus a scrumptious steak dinner, plus a delicious cocktail, plus the greatest pool in Kerrville, plus a great sports restaurant. Call today. Big Texas Inn. Limited availability and certain restrictions apply.
I think I need a motor on the skateboard. I hope I'm not too late to get my tickets for Kerrville Comedy Tonight on March 26th with comedians Mark Riojas, Damon Edwards, and special guests. $10 all seats. Stay for the door prizes. Going to Santo Coyote now. Why am I talking to myself?
Problems, you need to bring your car into the brake experts at Texas Express Lube. They still do a 26-point oil change, and all the technicians at Texas Express Lube are certified by the American Oil Change Association. But they also do transmissions, radiators, and power steering flushes, rotor repair, and they can run a fuel system cleaner to improve your fuel mileage. And they can fix your brakes. Texas Express Lube, 215 Thompson Drive. So much more than just a lube store.
Hey, and we're back for what we're going to do is show a few more bird photos. And Dave will probably do a real quick call. I know what that is. Dave?
A crow?
Look.
What? Oh, yes. That is a bluebird.
Yeah.
Actually, what it looks like is one of these
and
things.
And they love to nest in open areas. It's best to put their box about 3 or 4 feet off the ground on a post. That's their favorite thing.
And they have a beautiful song, and they go...
A beautiful bird, suffering somewhat from one of our favorite birds, even though he shouldn't be here. The starling has a tendency to take their nest over.
Yeah.
Starlings use the nest boxes that are intended for
their babies.
Yeah, and so you got to kind of watch the starlings if you're going to put bluebird boxes out. What else have we got there? Oh, look at this.
Oh, look, it's a titmouse.
No.
It is, too.
No, it's a chickadee.
It's a titmouse.
It's a chickadee. Look, Dave. It's a Carolina chickadee.
It's a titmouse.
He's not going to listen, is he?
Yes.
It is a...
don't forget, I still get to buy all those old ones up again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That is
a chickadee.
A chickadee.
And let me tell you what I know about these that's interesting. I lived in Vermont, and we had an extremely harsh winter. They ate out of my hand. They were so hungry that when you went out to feed them, before you got the feed in the feeder, they were landing on your hand, taking the food from you.
Yeah.
And they're ordinarily not that brave, but they were starving to death. And so when they have to be friendly, they can be.
Yeah.
So do you know their sound?
Sounds like the place where I was married for a while. But
do you know what a chickadee sounds like?
Yeah. The question is, will I?
Can you? Are you able?
Yeah.
He knows what it sounds like. There you go. And there's 2 subspecies. One's slightly larger than the other.
A little fluffier, a little healthy looking bird.
Let's see if there's any more birds to do.
Yeah.
Oh,
look. Those are pair. Cork has a pair of those nested.
These are kingfishers.
Little kingfisher, about the size.
The little green one, it's the size of a sparrow. Or
yeah,
a little bigger.
Certainly bluebird size. Yeah. And they go... That's about it.
And they are native here. We see them along the Guadalupe River.
The boys have red, the girls don't.
And there's a pair right there. And I think maybe one of the smaller, if not the smallest of the kingfishers.
It's the smallest in the world.
Smallest in
there
the world.
is one small with the same size, give or take, in Africa, in place Kilimai.
You got me, not Kilimanjaro.
They are in the Kilimanjaro area too.
How many doing?
Nope, can't do that one. We'll try this one next week.
Yeah, that's all right. Can't have them all. Are we out of bird pictures yet? No.
Oh, there's the one I like. That's a little red-eyed. Looks like he's been out all night long, and that's a sharp-shinned hawk.
And what's their specialty?
Their specialty, they especially like doves.
That's what I thought.
They like doves and little quail, baby
They're
chickens.
Bird-eating birds.
Bird-eating birds. And they're beautiful, and then, you know, you just build a better cage and don't have to worry about that. But they go... That's one of the sick.
Sharp-shinned hawk.
Sharp-shinned hawk.
Yes. Anything else? We don't know when we're running out of pictures, folks. As long as I throw them up here, David will do something. That's it? Well, it's...
You're out of birds?
That's it.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh, well, there's other birds we can talk about. They didn't have a picture of it, but we've raised them. David and I have different times. Road runners.
Beep, beep.
And they only come in cartoon. No, they're a cuckoo bird.
Yeah, cuckoo bird.
They're one of the unusual cuckoos because most other cuckoo birds put their eggs in somebody else's nest. The roadrunner does raise its own babies.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. However, they're an unusual bird in another way. They start sitting the eggs the minute they lay them. Most birds wait till they get a clutch, and they sit the clutch together so that all the babies hatch together. Roadrunners are more sly than that. They start sitting from egg 1, 2 or 3 days later, egg 2, and 2 or 3 eggs, egg 3, or however they have, and they hatch at different rates.
Yeah, we'll tell them what
The
the reason
set on
is.
first, yeah, is going to be a little bird, but by the time he gets fed up, then the next guy hatches, and the next guy. But the reason is, in really bad times, because they live in really harsh environments, they feed one baby to the others. They use their babies to feed the strongest baby. So if you're the little guy in the nest and it's a bad day, you get fed to your brother. Yeah, it's totally normal for them to do that. So in bad years, they may only raise one, even though they had 3 or 4
But he's real
babies.
big.
Yeah, but they take good care of him. Now, I raised 2. You've raised 1 for sure.
I got a pair nesting right outside the house where I am now.
I
I'm
raised
going
one
to get
about
a
4
baby,
years
another
ago.
baby. I forgot
Another
to tell
bird
you.
that doesn't evidently imprint. They hang around.
They're sure
But
great,
mine
they're
found
sure
a
great
boyfriend
bird friends.
and went on. They don't stay with you, so you don't have to feel so bad. Again, technically it's illegal. We just happened to get these because they were going to die otherwise. The
But
tree was
they were mowing the place down.
And so that's not legal to do technically. But since I get away with it in a different way, that's what they should have shown as a vulture. I'll bring Buffy.
Oh, yeah, Buffy'd love that.
Oh, we have one call. We've just got time. Good morning. Welcome to Nature Approved.
Yeah, I got 2 baby roadrunners last year.
How cool.
And the year before that, I got 3.
Did they raise themselves? Were they healthy?
Oh yeah, they were chasing the lizards all over the place.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're a wonderful
Mine
bird.
gave me a handful of baby lizards and brought them over, and I threw them out, and I guess they seen me and they took off after them. But anyway, what does a roadrunner sound like? Thank you.
And when they're doing this, folks, what they do is they'll get a lizard and they put it in their beak, hanging, just like you might imagine. Then they stand up real tall, and the first swoop, they put their, when they finish, they touch their beak to the ground. And then they do it again until they find a girlfriend. And when they impress her, they give her the lizard. And now we're in love and we're married. That's it. It's like going to McDonald's. You take her and get her a burger. And and the other one is they do chatter. And I don't know if David can do it. They have one other sound. There it is. They chatter the beak.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's sort of a startling thing. Something's going on. But a fabulous bird. Thank you, sir. Did we lose him? Oh, yes, we did.
Great birds.
Yeah. 2 minutes yet. All right, let's do another bird since you're here. Well, let's talk about my bird. I have a vulture for 5 years now.
Tell them you're looking for
A
a macaw,
black
too.
vulture that lives, not with me, sort of though. Comes in the house if I leave the door open. Lives in the backyard about 8 months a year or 9. And then goes off with her boyfriend and has babies and comes back after the breeding season.
Did she come back?
Come back every
she's
one
driving me nuts.
day out of each week she comes home.
Yeah, she comes and hangs around and is sweet as ever. Everybody said, even our friend John Carger, the Birdman, says, oh, it's going to be mean when it grows up. Well, John didn't meet my bird. She lays there and lets you pet her. She plays guitar with me. You can go to Vulture Pickin' Guitar on the
Go to
on
that,
the
just
YouTube
for your own fun.
and watch her play. She plucks the guitar pretty quick. And but a nice bird. And no, they don't smell. At least she doesn't.
No.
And she's very clean. She prefers fresh food. I think I might have spoiled her. Why do I have her? Well, I never had, I started to tell this before. We've got 1 minute to tell this. My birds are never in cages, so I'm technically not raising an illegal bird. It's probably not a good idea to imprint them, and I didn't intend for her to be imprinted. But I got her so young because they killed both her parents. The deer hunters claimed that an eagle attacked them or some weird story, and when they went to their blind, there's only one door, and 2 vultures went out, and 1 guy's going in. That's why they shot him. Hey, come back next week to Nature Approved. I may drag him out again if he's legal.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Well.
And don't forget to see our friend James.
Yeah, I'll go see John Carger in Bernie. And if you have any macaws or birds for me, let me know. And this is the last one. 11, 1, and 3 today. Last one for this spring. Bernie Wildlife Center? Actually, the Visitor Center and the Walmart parking lot.
It's right in town.
Thanks, folks.
I bet they're hungry today.
They will be. Back next week with Nature Approved. Maybe I'll have my computer so I'll know what I'm talking about. But I doubt it.